Good morning, everyone. Up here at the cabin, and if you've been watching some of my previous videos, I hinted at putting on an addition to the cabin this year. So that's the purpose of today's video here. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a mock-up on what I plan on doing. And for those of you that haven't seen any of my previous videos, I'll do a quick walk around and a quick tour on the inside, just to show everyone, and then I'll do the mock-up. But yeah, I do have a video. If you go to my channel, it was actually the first video I posted was a video tour of the cabin, which I do a kind of detail review of the outside and inside. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around. Cabin's 10 by 16. You can see the chimney there. I have a wood burner inside. That's my dog S'mores. She just turned 7 a few weeks ago. My little cabin companion. So yeah, I built the cabin in 2018, so it's 6 years old at this point. Got the big wraparound deck. You can see this see-through panel here actually flips open. Which I'll show you here in a few minutes. And then you also see during the video that this is going to be going away. So I'll talk about that a little bit more once I get it inside and flip it open. All right, so I'll take you inside here, show you around real quick. If you haven't seen him before, that's Bruce the Moose. He's like a paint by number from the early 60s. I painted there. Got a little wood burner. It's like 90 degrees in here because I had a fire kicking this morning, and it's not that cold outside, so it got really warm inside. But well, it's not 90, but it's probably 80 degrees. But yeah, it's burning out now. Yeah, so I have room for this cot here, which I leave up all the time. And then I also have a second cot that I store in the back room there that I can set up over here. And everything pretty much folds up, like all the furniture and this table here folds up, and that'll leave me room for the second cot. In this little back room right now, I'm just using for storage. But when I originally built this, I intended for this to be a little bathroom with just a toilet and a sink, because there's not room for a shower. I never really did anything with it because I couldn't decide if I wanted to build a second structure outside for a bathroom, or like a little shower house, like a campground shower house, and make this a little kitchen. But that's the purpose of today's video. Is I'll talk through this, but I am going to leave this just a little bathroom. That's what I finally decided, because I don't want to build a second structure, because I just have a feeling that would take me, I don't even know, a couple years, and I don't want to make that commitment. So as you can see, it's very tiny, cluttered. It's good for me and s'mores, but now that I'm 6 years in, I just want a little bit more. I want to get a stove and an oven, a little bit of a bigger refrigerator, and have a little permanent spot, and some wall space, because I like to clutter it up with junk. So my plan is, where this roof section flips out, and I'll do that here in a few minutes, but this here is going to become a room with a roof on it, so that flip open panel there will no longer be there. So it took me a while to decide what I wanted to do here, because I'll really miss that. But again, I think right now having some extra room is more important, and I think I'm gonna put like a bigger window that'll flip open, and hopefully it'll bring some light in. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip up this roof, and then I'll talk through it a little bit more. All right, there it is with the roof flipped open. Which, don't get me wrong, is a pretty awesome feature of the cabin, to be able to open that up, walk right out onto the deck, but it also has some pain points. It's the source of maintenance. Gets pretty grimy. It's actually all green from algae. It has leaked, not bad, but it has leaked here and there during bad rains through some of the seams in the panels, which I'm sure I could fix, but I ultimately decided that I want to build this out into a room, just to have the extra room. You can see, like I said earlier, it's cluttered in there. So that's what I'm going to do today. I actually found some black sheets on clearance at Walmart. So I'm going to cut them to size and hang them up and try to simulate what this might look like, and that'll give me a better idea on how far out I want to build. I'd like to keep enough walking room on the deck here, and ultimately I'm going to put a railing on the deck. But yeah, so I'll probably come out to maybe right around here, probably another 3.5 feet. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to set up here, and I'll show you here in a few minutes when I'm finished. All right, here's my clearance sheets from Walmart. And I had these 2x2s at home that I just cut up and just lay them down. I got a staple gun, so I'm going to try to cut these to size, and then I'll staple them on that frame there, and just staple them up here. Might even cut in some window cutouts just to get a better feel for how this is going to look. And I'll probably move some of the furniture around. I'll move the cot ultimately, and you'll see once I get this up, but I want the cot to be going up against this wall over there, and then over where the cot is now, I'd like to set up a table, like a little table to eat on, and leave it there permanently with a couple chairs. But I'll talk about that more once I get this to set up and get back inside. Hey. Alright, I decided to show you this before I put the fake walls up. just so you can kind of see it come together. But move the bed out, or the cot out, where I'm planning on putting it, and I set up my future little kitchen table. I can already see this is a little bit tighter than I was expecting or hoping for, so I may end up putting the cot this direction, like on this wall here, future wall. But once I set up my fake walls, then I'll move the cot over on that side and see what I want to do. And like I mentioned earlier, I also want to put a stove oven and a refrigerator on. I was planning on this wall, but if I put the bed that direction, I'm not quite sure if I will have room for it. They do sell like smaller stuff, like I think a 2-burner electric stove that's only about 20 inches wide, and then a small refrigerator. So I think I'd only need maybe 40 inches for the stove and the refrigerator here. So there might be room for the cot going that direction, as well as the stove and the refrigerator. But let me get this set up, and I think I'll get a better feel for it once those walls are on. Alright, so I got these sheets hung up, and it's either pouring down rain or full sun every time I try to make a video, so I'm sure this is gonna look super bright. But anyways, I should have maybe sprung for a third sheet. It would have made this a little bit easier. Plus it's very windy, so it took me a while to get this set up. But that's kind of the idea of what I'm thinking for the addition. I do want room on the deck so I can walk past there, and reason for that is I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to swing this or not. But so the addition would just be like that room, kind of how I have the sheets set up there. But I'm also thinking about extending the roof all the way to the edge of the cabin, and then this would basically be like a 4-foot covered porch area, which is one of the biggest things I miss about having an A-frame, is like somewhere to sit outside when it's raining. So that's the plan, but I'm not quite sure I can figure out how to make that happen the way I have the cabin built. So I'm going to try to maybe get creative, and like I said, have a little porch area so I can have a couple chairs, a little table, and just chill out here when it's raining, or just come outside in the morning when there's for coffee. So hopefully I can figure that out. I actually thought about building the entire addition all the way over, but I would really have to basically tear down that entire wall. I don't want to get into that. At that point I may as well just build a new cabin. So I'm going to stick with the addition. I don't want to say it's going to be simple, because I really don't know what I'm doing, but I believe I'll be able to get this built without any assistance. At least I'm going to try. But again, I'll have some tear down that little angled wall there. I'll have to tear off all that trim, tear off the wall, or the outside wall there. I'll have to tear that down. Yeah, you can see it's windy and that's blowing around pretty good, but at least it gives me an idea of what it might look like, how far out I want it to come. I think I need 4 boards at least to be able to walk on. So I'll probably build this wall out to right about there. So I have 4 boards there I'll be able to walk through. And And then that gives me enough room for that cot to fit inside. S'mores isn't feeling too good this morning. I think she ate too many sticks yesterday, and I think her tummy hurts. All right, let's take a walk inside and get an idea of what it looks like in here. Yeah, that wind's kind of screwing this up, but I don't know. That's the addition. That'll be my bedroom, kitchen. Yeah, so with the cot this direction, I would definitely have room for the stove and the refrigerator, and even like a storage, some storage with maybe like a countertop all the way over to the corner there. I'll probably do a window, 3 windows, maybe only 2, maybe a big window on that wall, a smaller window on this wall, and not sure if I'm going to put a window over there. I would like to do some sort of built-in bookshelves. I was thinking maybe that far wall, do that entire wall as like a built-in bookshelf, so I could just put a bunch of, like a clutter shelf. But I don't think there's going to be room. I'm going to actually move the cot on that wall, see how much room I think I'll have, to see if I'll be able to fit like the kitchen stuff that I want. All right, be back in a second. All right, so this is potentially another setup option. Of course, that table's coming out, that little table there, and right there would be a stove and a refrigerator, but I really wouldn't have any room for a counter, any counter space if I set the cot over on this direction. And also another reason why I'm doing this is I'd like to get a temperature controlled electric heater, like a wall heater, which they sell some really nice, real slim, smaller ones that they're good to, like, I think up to 500 square feet, so it would definitely warm this up. But that way, the fire goes out in the middle of the night, I could have that set to, like, I don't know, 50 degrees or whatever, or even when I'm out and about, I could have that set to 50 degrees and it will keep it temperature controlled in here. But those need about, I think, 30 inches above where you mount them. So let's say I mount it on that wall there, I wouldn't be able to have a window above it. Couldn't put counter space there, obviously. So that's another thing I'm considering here when I do this. Either way, whatever direction I decide to set up the cot, I think that's what the walls are going to look like, and that's about how far out they will be. And then I'll just have to figure out configuration with the cot and how I want to set up the table and that sort of thing. I really don't want to put like the stove and refrigerator over here because of that slanted wall. You're just losing room behind it. Well, actually, I'm losing room with the table there, but I'll figure this out. What I'm really hoping to do is I can start tearing the deck up and lay down the subfloor, and maybe even build out some of these exterior walls here before I even have to start tearing anything down, because all of this trim is going to have to come off. course the door is going away, and I'll need to figure out up here how I'm gonna hang like the ceiling rafters or whatever you call those. But yeah, so I actually think I can get started building this without doing any of the tear down yet. Or at least that's my plan. I'm gonna build as much as I can outside before I start tearing down the trim in the inside. Because once I do that, then it's gonna be a time crunch just because of you know, keep any rain out. So I might take some vacation when I actually start doing the tear down. Maybe take a week off and just focus on that and making sure that everything's waterproofed in and I'm not getting everything wet inside. S'mores, what do you think? You want some extra room for your bed? I guess so. Well, everyone, that's my plan for the addition. Right now it's early April, and I'm actually probably not going to start. I might start tearing up the deck on the outside in April and May, but I keep pretty busy during May with some other hobbies. So I'm not planning on getting started until probably June. But again, like I said, I might start tearing the deck up, and maybe in mid or to late April and through May, if I can get up here just on some day trips, like on Sundays, and get started. And if you're new to the channel, like I mentioned earlier, you should be able to go to my channel and find my first video that I posted was a full cabin tour. So I talk a lot more in detail about the build, and but yeah, so if you want to follow along with this addition, please subscribe to the channel. And for those of you that have been following along, I hope you enjoy the upcoming edition here. And so that's going to do it for today. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon.